So here we are at the RNC convention. A lot of stuff going on. J.D. Vance is your vice presidential nominee with Donald Trump. A lot of people seem happy about that. By the way, make sure you share this video, like, subscribe, comment, and show us some love. Just comment "Hey now" down in the comments. But the RNC is going off, and man, this is unlike any RNC that I've seen in recent history. This is like rock star status. Everybody's hype. Everybody's on the same page. There's no bickering back and forth of, oh, we're casting our ballots for Nikki Haley. All that's over with. And you can attribute that to the assassination attempt. You can attribute it to whatever. But Donald Trump is the rock star, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump is the guy that is the nominee and has always been the nominee. I was preaching, Tony Gubb, you remember I was preaching it from the rooftops from the get-go. I said, Donald Trump is going to be the nominee. Y'all just need to hang it up.
Oh, forever.
We all said that.
Yeah.
Here is Florida casting their delegates for Donald Trump, which officially put him over the margin that he needed to be the official nominee. But what was so great about this is that the representatives for the state of Florida that cast the ballots for the delegates was Trump's kids, and Eric Trump got to make the announcement that officially put Trump over the top to be the nominee.
Florida, 125 delegates.
Madam Secretary and everybody in this great city, on behalf of our entire family and on behalf of the 125 delegates in the unbelievable state of Florida, we hereby nominate every single one of them for the greatest president that's ever lived, and that's Donald J. Trump, hereby declaring him the Republican nominee for President of the United States of America.
Yeah, baby! Yeah! And how cool is that your kids are the ones to do that? Not just to be able to cast the delegates for your home state, but to be the ones that cast those final delegates. And there were plenty more after that.
Pursuant to the announcement.
But it was...
I thought you said Barron was the one that...
Did I say Barron?
I think you did say Barron.
I meant to say Eric Trump.
Okay.
But Barron would have been cool, too. That would have been fine. I'd be good with that.
I could be wrong.
But that was a super cool moment, and that was the moment that Donald Trump became the nominee. And then coming up, at that point, everybody's talking about Veep stakes. So who's going to be the VP? And that's all going back and forth and reported. The way it works at these RNC conventions or DNC conventions is you got a bunch of mealy-mouthed reporters running around just grabbing every sort of politician or whatever representative that they can talk to and just ask them questions. There was one MSNBC reporter that made the mistake of going up to Don Jr. and asking him some questions that only DNC or MSDNC would ask at a time like this, 48 hours after his father was almost assassinated.
What is that change going to look like, Don? What practically your father as president, I think you would even say, was a divisive figure. What's it going to look like in the second term?
I don't think he was a divisive figure at all. I think the media created divisiveness around him. They lied about Russia collusion. They said he was a traitor.
Yep.
They went after him in every which way possible. If the media actually starts being an honest broker, talking about the things that he did, the prosperity he brought, the peace deals that he signed around the world, rather than the disaster that we're living right now, I think you'd do everyone in the country a big favor.
I know immigration's important to him. I covered the family separation crisis closely. Will we continue to see policies like separating 5,000 children deliberately from their parents?
You mean the Obama administration?
You know they didn't do that, sir.
Yes, they did.
Will there be a second family separation policy?
It's MSDNC, so I expect nothing less from you clowns. Even today, even 48 hours later, you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait with your lies and with your nonsense. So just get out of here.
Get lost, punk. Get lost. Get lost. Yeah, man, that little mealy-mouthed reporter.
They almost killed the guy, and they're right at that shit again.
I know, dude. It's like they have no shame. And what we've seen after, think about this, after Donald Trump has been shot at, the things that they've said in the media, even the reporting of the shooting, they still have no shame whatsoever. They just reported it like, man, hey, it's kind of Trump's fault that he got shot. Could you imagine Joe Biden being shot at and us, or not us, but like somebody getting on TV and saying, well, Joe Biden, he had it coming.
I saw one report where they said like he fell or tripped or something. But if this were a Biden rally, you wouldn't have seen the whole crowd sitting there waiting and looking around like trying to help. They would all have been skedaddling. They'd have been running out of there because they're just a bunch of what.
Yeah, immediately CNN did their initial report, and they said Secret Service helps Donald Trump after he falls on stage. Good and well what happened. Look, I sent you an email. I want to play this real quick while I'm thinking about it. This is ABC News, okay? George Stephanopoulos, who just tried his best to save the career of Joe Biden, and Martha Raddatz, and they are reporting just moments after the shooting. I want you to listen to how they break this story down.
Also, George, we have to point out, no matter who the shooter, what the shooter's motives were, no matter who the shooter is, you are going to hear conspiracy theories going forward.
No question about that. But as you point out, those statements from J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy, of course, President Trump and his supporters have contributed to this violent rhetoric as well.
Well, absolutely, George. We were just looking back this morning at some of the things that former President Trump has said. He warned last March of potential death and destruction if he were charged by the Manhattan District Attorney. Our country is being destroyed as they tell us to be peaceful. Trump in January warned of bedlam in the country if the criminal charges against him succeeded. And of course, in March, he said, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That will be the least of it. He said he was partly joking and that was taken out of context.
It was.
Those are indeed his words. And
what else? Shut up, you old bag.
Well.
You old hack. God, we didn't even know if Trump was alive or not when they were doing this piece on ABC. And they're just, yep. Talking about Trump this, Trump that. I better not say it. This video is about J.D. Vance. Let's talk about J.D. Vance. So Donald Trump. By the way, when it comes to the vice president, I didn't give this a lot of credence on the air because I was like, just tell us who it is. I've been saying for days that my gut tells me it's J.D. Vance. But finally, the info comes out via Donald Trump on Truth Social. Everybody's waiting. And it was funny because at one point, they said it's going to come out any moment. Mm-hmm. And then Donald Trump texts the media or has his team text the media, and he says, I haven't made my choice yet. And so then they all got to back off of it because they were just running their mouth about, hey, it's going to be any second now. And then he says, I'm going to release it at 3:37. And then like 3:37, and then at one point he just releases it out of nowhere on Truth Social. He says, after lengthy deliberation and thought and considering the tremendous talents of many others, I have decided that the person best suited to assume the position of Vice President of the United States is Senator J.D. Vance of the great state of Ohio. J.D. honorably served our country in the Marine Corps, graduated from Ohio State University in 2 years. Summa cum laude. Is that how you say it? Summa cum laude?
Summa cum laude, I think.
Summa cum laude. It sounds like I'm ordering something at Starbucks.
Anyway, it's honors, yes.
And is a Yale Law School graduate where he was an editor of the Yale Law Journal and president of the Yale Law Veterans Association. So JD is the guy. I'm happy with it. I think it's a home run, in my opinion. I mean, we all had our favorites, but this is a good scenario. Young guy, he's 39. He's our age. He's a young guy. And here's what the new campaign thing should look like. Just take that old Trump Pence deal and just spray paint it.
See, just a couple letters, just switch them.
Just spray paint it, cool. But I think JD's a good pick. I think his youth will help. I think his real life experience will help because if you've seen that movie about his life, which is called Hillbilly elegy, I think is how you say it, hillbilly elegy, and it goes through his tough times of kind of growing up rough and his mom being a drug addict, yet he got into Yale Law School and he was hanging out with these hoity-toity people, but he was dealing with, this hillbilly family on the backside and trying to hide it from everybody. Anyway, it's just a great movie. If you have not seen it, I encourage y'all to check it out. Yeah, I think there's a picture of the cover of it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who's in this movie, by the way, but I think some pretty famous people are in there. But nonetheless, y'all check that out. J.D. Vance, the nominee. Good for him. Happy for him. I'm happy for Trump. I trust Trump's judgment on this, and I think he's got a good reason for picking. Here's what I speculate is now that this has happened to Trump, maybe there is an element of Trump's going to take the angle of unity and being calm and bringing the country together, and then JD can be that attack dog, because he is an attack dog.
Well, that could be. I thought it was going to be Rubio, but now that it's Vance, I could see how he did it. And I believe the assassination attempt kind of made up his mind because he needed a fighter now for sure. They want somebody in as VP that the media doesn't like very much,
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. So, good. Excited to see what's ahead. Make sure you share, you comment, you like on this video, subscribe, and all that stuff. Until next time, see you guys.